Guys, my last couple videos you saw me seal up the air gaps in the front. Well, I'm doing the rear now. I've already done that side, so I'll show you where some of the holes are on this side. I showed you previously where the door jamb goes. I put a block of foam in there. I put another horizontal strip here, and I'll put another vertical strip here. There's a gap in here at the seam. I just cut a small strip. You can see there's a gap there, and the seat rails will hold these in. You got one there, one there. At the back, you got one there. And I've RTV'd some of the smaller gaps. You can just RTV to seal it up. My goal is to reduce dust down to zero as much as possible. And I'm simply using some of this pool noodle or water heater pipe insulation, and I save this stuff from packaging because it comes in handy. The seat belt, you have a big gap there that this goes into, so I've stuffed that with foam, and that helps take up that air gap there. So you can see where I silicone the hole around the anchor point. RTV, RTV. You can see where the rails holding it down. And forgot this front part over here, there's a gap there. And after I installed it, I simply took my knife and cut it so it lays in. But you can see that there's no air gaps here, so my next ride, I'm hoping dust back here will be greatly reduced. While I'm looking at the engine bay, you guys want to check your clamps going to your oil reservoir. There's 3 of them. There's one here, one below it, and then one over here. Just make sure those clamps are on the nipple and not slid up over the rubber and not on the nipple. Just human error in one guy is that. Here's a good explanation. Just make sure the clamps are slid up and they're on. Look at that solenoid. It looks like they're actively managing the EGR gas. I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, this might be a solution to oil puddling in intake. And I think they're actively regulating this now, so it'll prevent that from happening. This seat back, the seat bottom rather, notice how this is misaligned. What you want to do is take an 8mm socket here. Let me set this down. Is loosening up this grommet and straightening it out a bit so it engages easier. And these bolts here, bolts and screw, is too tight, which is causing this to bind. Just some of the improvements that you never see the engineers make because they're hidden. This is the existing Wolverine X4 engine cover. There's 2 bolts here. I actually flip this down so I can use the heat in winter. There's normally 2 bolts here. They've changed it to a wire design, which holds this in place much better. Just little improvements.